This Domain Sherpa show was recorded at the Traffic Conference in October 2011. In lieu of me talking about our 3 Domain Sherpa sponsors who are on the side of this page, I want to thank Rick Schwartz and Howard New for allowing me to host the fireside chat at the Traffic Conference. I also want to thank Danny Pryor of Rodan Media Group, who put together the video and adjusted the audio levels, which was no small feat, but he worked wonders. It was an honor to contribute to this industry-leading event, and it was my distinct pleasure to interview keynote speaker Bill Karamouzis, a fantastic person with a phenomenal story. I hope to meet you at Traffic in October 2012. Here's your show.
Welcome.
I'd like to ask our keynote speaker to come forward, Bill Kara, and we have an interesting setup this morning because Mr. Karamouzis is going to be interviewed by Mike Seiger, who is a great interviewer. And come on up, and we're going to introduce the speaker. And Mike, who you may know from Domain Sherpa, who does great interviews. And we're going to do a little fireside chat, and then we will open it up for question and answer. So, having said that, please welcome our keynote speaker, Bill Karamouzis, also known as Bill Kara.
Good morning, everyone. As Howard just introduced me, my name is Michael Seiger. I'm the publisher of DomainSherpa.com, what I call the domain name authority, because it's the place where you can learn directly from the experts themselves. I'm honored this morning to conduct the interview with Bill Karamouzis. Thanks, Rick and Howard, for this opportunity. So what I like to do on every show of Domain Sherpa is start with the big question. And the big question for this interview is, how do you build 2 multi-million-dollar businesses in 5 years with arguably marginal domain names, and then do it again with the 20/20 hindsight that comes from that experience? Joining us to answer this question is today's keynote speaker, Bill Karamouzis. Bill is the founder of Hallpass Media, which is now a division of MindJolt. If you haven't heard of MindJolt, it was started by MySpace co-founder and former CEO Chris DeWolf. Bill is an expert in website development. He started 3 companies, and he successfully sold all 3 companies. He's here to share with us how he built an online gaming empire, and more specifically, how domain names were a critical aspect of his latest company. Bill, welcome, and thanks for keynoting this year's Traffic Show.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for coming up.
There we go. So thanks for the introduction, and thanks for everyone who's here. I didn't think this would make it after last night, but it's great to be here, and I'll spend the next 45 minutes kind of going through what I've done as how I've leveraged domains into businesses, the pros and cons, because mistakes have been made through the way. Some of the stories are humorous in hindsight. And my last round of development was where I think that I really tapped into quality type of traffic, and where I was able to really get competitive with people that were much better funded than I was. And it's something that I think a lot of people here in the audience can do quite easily. And so hopefully I can convey that message. I'm not a professional public speaker, I'm just a developer. So hopefully I can articulate that message, and if not, there'll be questions and answers at the end where you guys can grill me a little bit and maybe get into more detail. So,
all right, Bill, let's start with a little bit of the background. For those of you who haven't heard of Hallpass Media, Bill, can you describe what Hallpass Media does and what types of websites you publish?
Sure. So Hallpass Media is a collection of online gaming websites We've taken premium domain names and turned them into kind of really specialized content hubs. So some examples are wordgames.com, cookinggames.com. So they're very focused for the most part. And in addition, you have more general gaming websites like Hallpass, Cool Games. So it's really a network of 15 sites now that reaches 6 million global viewers a month.
Let's start with the day you sold Hallpass Media to Chris DeWolf. It was just this last April, 2011. What did it feel like on the day that you closed that sale, your third business sale?
So yeah, that day was fun. It was neat. I got a check from my lawyer, and
you actually got a check. It wasn't a direct deposit into your account.
We were based in Canada, so the stuff was a lawyer. Go to the bank, pay the back, and then stuff. And then it was like we had to change ad tags on 15 sites, all the placements. So literally, we went straight to work after that.
Because you didn't want the ad tags from your previous company depositing into your account, you had to change them all over to MindGold tags.
Exactly. So got the check, deposited, and then it happened on Friday, and then literally worked all weekend. So, hey guys, congratulations, high five, and then we worked literally all weekend. We worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, almost all nighters, just changing hundreds of tags. That was how we celebrated. And then on Monday when we came in, they asked us how the party was.
Was there any champagne going on in the office?
No, we had a lot of work to do. It wasn't, not yet. I mean, it's exciting when it happens, but right after it happens, you have an obligation to the person who's acquired you. And the message we sent was we wanted to send a message saying that we're here to work. We became equity holders in MindGold, and the message that they wanted my team to send itself is that we have a cash out there. We're building a really great company at MindGold, and I think that's what we did.
Great. And did you, a lot of times when a domainer will have a big sale on a domain name, they'll go out and they'll buy something. They'll buy a new watch, they'll buy a new car, maybe they'll buy a new house. Did you buy anything new when you sold Hallpass Media?
No. Hallpass Media, no. Because like I said, it wasn't that type of celebration. I still feel like we have to do work at MindGold. I mean, when I sold games in last year, I went on lots of trips. I took my family to New York and went for one of those, tried to take my mom to go on a shopping spree, like take stuff and throw it in the cart. She just kept trying on everything, so nothing wasn't going very quickly or smoothly. And so by the end, we spent like $200, it didn't work out. I was like, Mom, rush. But yeah, so first sale, we did some fun stuff, traveled, and spent some money.
All right, we're going to get into the details of the transaction. But when you sold Hallpass Media, what was the size of the current company that you still run? How many unique visitors were you serving per month? How many page views across your network of websites?
So we're in the 6 million range, which includes our 15 developed websites and our park portfolio, which is around 35 to 40 domains that we haven't had a chance to get to. That include like newgames.com, wisdom.com.
So 6 million unique visitors per month.
Yeah, no translates to probably 40 to 50 million page views, and then you're looking at about 150 million to 200 million banners.
Yeah, that's a lot of impressions.
It's getting pretty substantial. We'd be hitting peaks of around 400,000 views a day. So we're starting to get.
And when you sold the company, what was the revenue of the business per month?
So revenue for this company, I would be covering an NDA. I would really need to say exactly.
So those of you that watch the Domain Sherpa show know that I would still let people off with just that question. Was it above 6 figures, let's say, per month?
Not above 6 figures. Math, no, it was in the 6 figures.
It was in the 6 figures? Okay, great. And I suppose if I asked you what the sale price of Hallpass Media was, you would say NDA?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, so let's go back in time now and figure out how you got to the point where you built 3 successful companies and successfully exited them. The first company you started was called FPS Networks, but just prior to that, you actually had a 9-to-5 job. What was that job?
So I was a website administrator at Capital Health, which is kind of like the equivalent of a state health authority. I don't know if they have in the States, but we have professional health care, so it was the 4th largest employer in our province or state, and I was the website administrator. So I did everything from setting up the website to building virtual tours of the hospitals, and now it's doing tours.
All right, so people would tell you what to program, you put it on the website, you make sure the website's up and running.
Yeah, and back in those days, the content was very basic, so there was a push kind of politically for us to have maximize taxpayer dollars. It works in Canada, so we needed a website that had really accurate medical content and libraries and things like that. So I was working as kind of the IT person in public affairs, and the website was just weird, middle phase. It was a public affairs tool, it was an IT tool, and I was the guy.
Got it. And during that time, you started a website on your own, after hours, where you used to publish videos, jokes, and games, from what I understand. What was that domain? What was that website?
Yeah, so initially it was like GeoCities and all these kind of free services that would just put up crazy stuff that people would send their online. And then eventually I thought I should put it on the domain and see what happens. And I started in this hacker network, which at the time kind of a lot of people aspired to be hackers. It was kind of like this new cultural thing that you do online, regardless of if you code or not. And I couldn't code, but I thought I did at the time. And I put up animations, I put up games, I put up whatever, I put on jokes, and it just kind of caught on. At the time they're called Everything Nothing Site, sites for people that were online back then. And it just grew. At one point it was reaching 6 million people a month, and it just grew.
So 6 million unique visitors per month. You must have been raking in the cash at that point in the after hours after working at Alberta Health Services.
Yeah, you'd think so, and I would hope so, but back then you were looking not so much to make money, you were just hoping that the advertising company stuck around long enough to pay you. So my first kind of check that month I paid 6 million was going to be $3,000, and by the time the net 90 came around, it was completely bankrupt. So that was the story back then. Net's is really unreliable place. There's so many kind of scam artists on it, and it's kind of almost today when you look at advertising, it's still not very transparent, and that's how it was back then. You're just hoping, is this money actually going to come? Is this my job, or what am I doing with it? So it didn't end up initially, but eventually I did find a way out.
Gotcha. And then, so what happened after that website? Clearly, you cut your teeth in as a website administrator, and then you built your own website where you had enormous traffic. What came after that?
So we continue to grow and continue to get better advertisers. We partnered with a company called UJ Alliance based out of New York, and they were getting ads for us. They focused on males 18 to 45, and we were growing in traffic, but they had a hard time selling ads on their site because it was called Hacker Network. It had nothing to do with hacking, but the stigma, people want to advertise on it, so most popular thing on the site were the Flash animations and the Flash games. So they told me, why don't you get something that makes a little more sense? We can sell more ads on this. So